Hello guys, good evening. I hope you are doing just beautiful. Welcome back to Dot's Graphics Design, and in this tutorial I will demonstrate to you how to design this church program flyer with the help of your Pixellab application. If you are joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe to the channel and like this video for more other amazing tutorials. That's it. Let's dive straight into today's lesson. Okay, so I would love to delete everything, so I start afresh and you see what it takes to come out with this. So we're going to delete the default text. After doing that, you go to these three dots and check on image size. We're going to use a size of 961 by 1280. So I'm just okay with this kind of size. Take note, if you want to replicate this, I will also be sharing the WhatsApp group link where you can share your replicated designs for corrections. And also check the video description for all the resources I will be using in this tutorial. Stay tuned to the channel as we do this together. Now, after achieving this, the next thing we're going to do is to go to our background. We're following our common rule of, first of all, beginning your designing with setting the background, then bringing your images and complete the design with the text. So let's go with the first one, which is our background. Then we will now go back to images, and lastly we end with our text or typography. That's it. Let's get to work. We're going now to background setting, where of course we are on background setting. Click on from gallery. So with me here I have some awesome backgrounds. I'll share them with you, don't worry. We're using this one. Okay, so just drag this right down here. It's a kind of a stage light background. I got this from Pinterest. So once you've selected it, just click OK on the check mark and you are good to go. Now, after achieving this, the next thing you are going to do is to go to your shapes option. So we're going to go to shapes, select a big circle. I said a very big circle. Those who are not listening, listen. A very big circle, guys. Okay. Now, after achieving this big circle, use relative position to tag it to the middle. Then we're going to first of all go give it kind of a pink color. Right, after giving it the pink color, go to opacity. So I think I'm too fast here. Go to opacity, reduce the opacity, step it down a bit, let's say to just about 50%. Then click on the lock button, lock it up. So which other color can work well with this pink? Let's make a copy of the pink and let's reduce the size. Okay, this one was 82, so we can step this down right to 65. Let's check it out. Okay, on 65, what we're going to do is to, let's just continue anyways along the line with the colors. If the size is not okay, we can still adjust it. All right, so but we're going to go now to color setting. Use this famous gold color here for that. Okay, so we have this gold color. Okay, right now we're going to make sure that this other shape is on the middle as well. Then we make a copy of it. After making a copy of it, go to your color. Now we're using a gradient and it's a purple pink gradient. Okay, let me show you the color codes. It's just a combination of purple and pink, no big issues. So let's start with the purple. The color code is right here with you guys. Pick it up. It's 500 AB. That's for purple. Let's check for pink. Is for pink, the color code is F006E. Okay, that's the grade of pink and purple color we are using for today's design. Now, after realizing this, we are going to go to shapes. Right, go to shapes, and let's step this down to 60 and see how it looks. Use relative position to tag it to the middle. Okay, now let's go to opacity and let's see if we can increase the opacity of this completely. All right, then after increasing the opacity this way, let's go import the background once again. So this background that we use, we're going to crop it out again on a 3:4 aspect ratio, which is right here. Subscribe to the channel. Don't understand the video, drop your comments. Tell us if you love to join our WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing the links in the comment section for you to get it. So crop this background. Now increase it to full capacity using the increase button. Use relative position now to make sure it's on the middle. Then we're going to fade this out. All right, can you see the work? Now this is a very nice, powerful background combination method. As simple as that, we've achieved it. So let's check the opacity is at 50% or so. Then you lock everything up. Okay, so let's lock all of these shapes, and our background is manipulated successfully. Now if there are any adjustments, we're going to bring it as the design unfolds, but for now let's hold our piece. And the next thing we're going to do is to select a shape, a white shape. For that, just make it look this way, bring it right down here. Okay, now after achieving this, we're going to, okay, in order to avoid too much work, let's create a gradient here, guys. So go to your draw tool. Let's delete the shape anyways. Go to draw tool, increase pen size, smoothness, and blur radius to full capacity. Tap your finger on the screen, then you'll get this. Okay, I've shown you severally. This is how you create a gradient or a fading effect. Now change the color into white, make it look this way. Okay, I'm going to set it exactly like so, but I think we'll still need that white shape anyways. Let's do this now. Let's do this first of all. Okay, stretch this out. Let's just stretch this out, make it bigger, enough. Okay guys, make this very big enough. Okay, let's reduce the size. So designing is all about using your brain. You don't have to be stuck on the same position. All right, once you do things, you adjust. So let's lock this for now. If it doesn't work, we're going to delete it like we deleted the shape before. Now we're bringing in this shape. All right, bring in the shape. Stretch it out. Now use lazy position to tack it to the middle, send it right up here. All right, now we're going to bring in the images. Lock the shape. Let's bring in the images. Okay, so we're starting with this guy, Pastor Sam. I just love to give these images random names anyways. Okay, no big issues for that. So bring this one here. Let's bring in the second image. Please kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video for more recommendations whenever we post new and other amazing tutorials. Alright, so let's reduce the size. I think it's too big, it's too obvious, which is not good. This one also, bring it here. Okay, now let's bring in the next Sister Mary. Okay, this is a Great Awakening program 2.0. It's kind of a crusade program. Okay, so that's why you see so many speakers. Of course, we have speakers and guest speakers. Now I believe you know what I'm trying to do here. The images have to be in the somewhat the same size. This is to respect the principle of size, which is very important in design. Now the last image we're using is that of this Pastor Roland. Okay, just giving them random names. You can give the name Emeka if you want. Okay, so look at what we're going to do. As for Pastor Roland, we'd love to shift Pastor Roland to the back of the lady. So how did I do that? Quickly click here on these 8 dots, pull it along, and you see it moving so nicely. Now after achieving this, we are going to go back now to this shape. Look at what I'm saying. Push the shape to the upper section of the image. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do, sorry about that. So let's click on this shape, send it, let's try sending it down a bit. We want that fading effect to show. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's send the fade also above the images. Okay, check that out. Okay, so we can change the color of this fading. Sorry about that, guys. Let's change the color of this fading that we created here into black and see something very beautiful. I believe you can now see that it's giving the image some vibrant look. Okay, so but we can edit these images. Just click on each image, go to saturation, step it up a bit, increase brightness and contrast. Okay, just play with it to your desired taste. Let's increase the quality of this one as well. Just touch saturation, brightness and contrast. A little bit is enough, not too much. Okay, for this lady we don't really need to increase her saturation because it was already saturated, so we're just going to give her a little bit of brightness. We have reduced the saturation to -6. I believe you can see that right here. So we leave brightness to +2, sorry. Saturation is on -6. So let's go to contrast, step it up a bit to +9. Now let's work on Apostle Roland, the last image here. Let's increase. Okay, so the brightness and everything had already been touched. All right, good. So this is fine. Now after achieving all of this, the next thing that we would love to do is to bring in the church logo. Okay, so at this point we are going to bring in the church logo for this design. So the program is brought to you by the Redeemed Christian Church of God. This is their church logo. We're going to bring it into Pixellab. Just reduce it in size neatly, then we position it here. All right, now we're going to use our relative position button to make sure it's on the middle. After achieving this, just go back to your text, and right now we're going to begin our text. So go to text, write on new text, the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And all of these should be in caps. Now let's change the color of this text to white, and go to our font setting. So the font we are using here is Nexa Bold. Okay, for obvious reasons it's very visible, so we prefer to go for Nexa Bold. Okay, and yeah, what we're going to do now is change the alignment into middle alignment. So we have this. Let's increase it a bit in size and leave it like that. Use relative position to tack it to the middle. Now let's lock these images. Okay, let's lock it up. All right, good. Now after logging up all the images, the next thing we want to do here is to create another shadow. So go to your draw tool, increase a shadow or a blending effect, a fading effect, sorry. Go to your draw tool, increase the pen size, the smoothness and the blur radius. Tap on your screen, then you get this. Okay, then let's stretch this out. Let's stretch this out. So I have to stretch this out to cover the entire length of the design. Then we can change the color into white. Okay, this should be in white. Use relative position to make sure it's on the middle, and you lock this up. After logging this up, the next thing you want to do is to bring in another small square shape here. Okay, this is where we're going to write their informations, and we're leaving this with color white. So let's leave this for that. Okay, so we're leaving this like so. And right now we're going to bring in the main event. So we're going to write, first of all, great in caps. Then I'm using an orange red gradient here. Let me just show you how to create it. So go to your gradient tool, click on gradient, click on the plus button, and click here. Then you click here as well, and let's select let's check where we have the gold. All right, so we're just using this kind of gold for this color. Then the second one should be this red. Okay, so we have this. Okay, let's do the adjustments. Now all we're going to do is to change the orientation of the color by choosing the first orientation so that we can have this. All right, then after having this, go to your text option or your font, and the font we're using is called Adoha, but then you can use any other script font here. There are no troubles. So we have great. Now we're going to copy this and write revival, awakening. Sorry, I'm famous with revival church program designing, so we're going to write awakening for now. Then we bring it here. Now let's increase this a little further in size, and let's bring this guy closer to this, and we position these ones here, but then we can shift this downwards a bit because we still need some good spacing up there for the names of the preachers. So we have great awakening. That's the main event indication. So go to your shapes right now, and on our shapes we're selecting this comment kind of a shape. We're giving it the same gradient. All right, same thing, bring it here. Okay, so let's shift this up a bit. Now as we bring it up here, what we're going to do is to copy this text and write 2.0. so remember I said this is awakening 2.0, the second edition. Now we're going to increase this text in size drastically so that we can move it faster. And tell us in the comments which color you would love us to leave this 2.0 with. All right, I guess white is working there perfectly, so there are no issues with that at all. Now we're going to create another small shape here. Okay, go to shape. Right now we're going to change the radius, make it look this way. Now go to gradient. We're going to create another gradient, but then I still have it here. It's a blue gradient. Different shades of blue colors were used for that gradient. This is it here. So let me click on it and you see it. Click on the plus button, but then I want to rotate the orientation of this gradient. Let me first of all show you guys the color codes, okay, in case you want to replicate this. So for the blue, it's a dark blue, or the light blue, sorry. We have 00147A. Then for the lighter part of it all, we have the color code is pointing right here, 03Z1FF. Click OK, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now we're going to change the orientation into this. Okay, I just swap it by clicking on this button. Click on OK, and we are good to go with that. Bring it right here. So let's do some layer adjustments here. All right, so guess what we're going to put here? Okay, any lucky person can guess that and tell us in the comment section down below. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. The next thing that I would love to do, remember we reduce the radius of that shape. So the next thing we would love to do is to copy this text and write theme. So let's write theme, the theme of the event. Make it in caps, put semicolon, bring it right here, reduce it in size. Let's reduce this in size and centralize it to the middle of the shape. Then we go for a new text and we're writing the theme of the event. So the theme for this event is the power of his mighty presence. My keyboard is messing up, guys, but then subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay, drop your comments. I will be reading through. Any worries, let us know. Also indicate if you love to join our WhatsApp group so you can drop replications of the design for corrections and reviews. So they have the theme is going the power of his mighty presence. Okay, so this is the theme. Make it in caps. Okay, capital letters, but then we're going to change the color into color white. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from. A lot of friends from Nigeria, shout out to you guys. A lot of friends from Ghana, a lot of friends from Uganda, Sierra Leone, from Congo. Okay, so we happy to have you all on board, guys. We really appreciate the support. Now let's change the alignment into kind of a middle alignment. Okay, so we have the theme is the power of his mighty presence. Now let's step this down just to reduce the spacing. Okay, now after achieving all of this, the next thing we want to do is to give the names to the various preachers. Okay, what are their names? Okay, so let's begin straight away. On new text, we're going to write speaker. So most of these guys are speakers. Let's have this guy here. Change the color to black and go to your font setting. We're using a script font called the Jacqueline, right? But then you can use any other script font here that works for you. Go to paddling since part of the text is hidden in the beginning, so increase the left paddling and the right paddling as well. Now reduce this neatly in size, position it here, which holds for the first person, then make a copy of it. This guy is also a speaker for the Great Awakening 2.0 program. And this let's make a copy of this right now and bring it here. So for this lady, she's actually the host. That's Sister Rosemary. She is the host for the program. Then let's copy it once again. So let's just copy this speaker. This is another speaker, Pastor Raymond. Okay, so we're maintaining the same color, the same font, but right now what we're going to do is to give them their names. It's very important. So we have Pastor. So the abbreviation of Pastor is just PS. Pastor Samson David will be there. Okay, he will be there. Let's change the color to black and bring it down while reducing the size. Let's leave it just a size 20, reduce the size and leave it that way. Then let's make a copy of this, and we have Pastor. So this the next Pastor Anderson Peters. He will also be there for the program. I just know that they are random names. Now as you position these names, make sure that they are falling on the same alignment. Alignment means the same line, okay, for easy understanding. So Pastor Anderson Peters. Then we have the host is Sister Rosemary Chibuzo. sister, Rosemary, Chibuzo. Very good. Now let's change it and bring it here. Then after realizing that, let's copy the last one is Pastor Raymond. Raymond Alex. Okay, good. Now this is for Pastor Raymond. Okay, so everything is moving on as planned, and right now what we're going to do is to bring in the date. So this program is happening on the Sunday dot 24th, or let's say Sunday the 24th. I just want to say that because I'm abbreviating that. Sunday the 24th of November 2024. So break this into two lines. It's already broken. Thank God. Change the color into pure black. Okay, now after realizing this, the next thing we're going to do is to go to shapes, select this kind of square, make it a very tiny straight line, give it the orange and red gradient color combination, bring it much closer so this line will separate the date and the timing. So let's copy this out now and put the time. It's happening as from 10 a.m. prompt, as early as 10 a.m. prompt. This event will be live. Break this into two lines, guys, and just bring it closer to this text. Okay, let's shift this downwards a bit, shift this downwards also, and the line also should just be in the middle. Let's shift it down. Okay, good. Now after realizing this, the next thing we're going to do is to go back to shapes once again, increase the radius, reduce the field opacity, and increase the stroke. Okay, I believe you can see this now. So just make a very small separation here. Let's make this to be tiny enough. Okay, very tiny. Okay, good. So everything is moving on well. The next thing we're going to do is to copy this theme. So we want to maintain the same font, and let's edit it into venue. So where is this event happening? The venue. This should be in caps, of course, and we put a colon. Change the color to black for visibility sake, then subscribe to the channel and like the video. All right, now after realizing this, we're going to change copy, make a copy of the time so we maintain the same font and sizing. Let's bring this down, guys. Okay, yeah, it should not be too up. Let's change this text into the venue. So it's happening at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Redeemed Christian Church of God Assembly Enugu. Now for most parts of our designs, we have not been using locations out of let's use Kaduna. We've been using locations in the south of Nigeria, but this time around let's go for northern locations, Kaduna. Okay, let's bring it here, reduce it in size neatly, and make it fall into 3 beautiful lines. Now after achieving that, all is fine. The next thing we're going to do is to go to shapes right now, and we have the last shape to deal with, use your gradient combination. Now we're going to use the opposite of this blue gradient combination. So here you can see the dark blue is here, but here we are using the other one. If you don't understand this, ask in the comments, but then I showed you that already. It's just an orientation in the color gradient pattern. Now let's make a copy of this text and write the info line. For info, you can contact the program organizers on 0876897230 for all inquiries. Bring it here and make it to have a white color, because white is a warm color, so using it on a cool color, which is the blue, will make sense. Okay, so use your relative position now to tag this to the middle of your work. Now that we have achieved all of this, let's check everything to make sure it's in order. But for this gradient, for this shape, so let's try to reduce it a bit, okay, to just about 20%. Remember the shape that we added. Okay, so let's try to see. We can make it to be around 70%. So all of this depends on how well you can play with your design skies. And that's it for this church program flyer design. I never wanted this tutorial to be long, but for your sake, trying to make it easy for your understanding, we had to go this far. I believe this tutorial will help you learn your next graphic design job, God willing. And as we go, subscribe to the channel, save your work, and like the video for more other awesome tutorials. It was nice designing with you. I'm hoping to see you in our very next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We love you. It's Dance Graphics.